This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 251. I'm Chris.
I'm Steve, and I was worried that it was CNN for a second, but
This is CNN. No,
it's not.
no, it's not. Well, CN, that stands for Cable News Network. Cable News Network. Why did why?
I might have not been talking as loud before.
No, you're good. I am just low. So I'm just trying to figure, and not that low. I don't sound low in my headphones. It's the little thingies make me seem like I'm low. I don't know.
Why are you so down, Chris?
Why isn't that some fucking like really terrible 311 song? Like down, yes, or and there's that
I'm going
band.
down to Ira Toyota.
Have you ever been to Ira Toyota?
I did. I had a horrible experience at Ira Toyota. There's a reason why I did not buy my car there.
I think I usually go to Ira Toyota of Acton Toyota of Littleton.
That's where I go for service sometimes.
Yeah.
I might do that very soon. I got to get a fucking sticker.
Oh, you got to get a sticker.
And I have to do it.
You actually had the ER on there. You're kind of getting away from your mass hole roots. You straight up pronounced the
I've never had an accent.
Yeah, you've never said sticka or blinka.
I have to put it on, Chris. I can't just. That's not how I talk normally.
Yeah. I don't know if I have or not. I remember my friend John doing.
Not your brother John or our other friend John.
Yeah, my friend John.
I think other John is also your friend.
Well, no, but what I mean is
he's just your friend.
Yeah, the
friend John. I don't think he likes me very much.
No, I don't think that's what it is. But would you call him your friend?
Well, I haven't talked
friendly.
to him. I haven't talked to him in like 10 years, so
okay.
No, I guess not.
Okay.
I mean, maybe if we all get together and bury the proverbial hatchet.
Well, didn't we all hung out at the fucking Fun Spot once?
When the fuck was that? That was before Becky and I met.
I don't think it was 10 years ago, though.
I think it might have been.
Oh, God.
It might have been close to it.
Time flies when you're being dumb. Oh, man.
And full of cum.
Fucking headphone. Yeah, John at one point was studying accents for a paper or something. And he...
Or something.
It was a paper or something. Might have been a presentation. Could have been a slideshow. I don't know. He was studying the differences in the subtle differences in accents in our neck of the woods.
So in New England,
and even more specifically in the Merrimack Valley.
Oh.
So that there were distinctions between a sort of Chelmsfordian accent and something you might get in Lowell, for instance. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the film The Fighter. But the lovely ladies who are cast as Marky Mark's sisters,
they would like to be called the Funky Bunch.
Yeah, his funky bunch of sisters have a funky bunch of accents, is all I'm going to say, and that was one of the most fun parts of that movie, which I don't recall being that fun on the whole. So it was nice to see parts of Lowell there. But,
parts anyway.
Pots of Lowell, but
Top Donut, I think, was in there.
Oh yeah, and then Pawtucketville.
No, I think it was the one that was right near 110.
Or
113. So on the other side of the Merrimack.
Yeah, the other side of the Merrimack. The Miggity Mac was a thing I once heard when I lived in New Hampshire.
So for those of you that are unwashed, the Merrimack River is a pain in the ass.
Tell us how you really feel, Steve.
It's just like living on the other side of it.
Oh shit, dog! Preach.
Is just a pain in the ass. Like where I lived in Hudson, New Hampshire.
So we should explain the way because you say the other side of it and
the north side.
The north side of it, yes. Yeah,
or the northish. Well, it kind of
at that point it's the north side,
right?
So because the Merrimack River, for those of you who are not familiar, comes out of the bowels of the White Mountains in New Hampshire
and flows south.
And then where does it turn? Kind of turns at does it turn? Yeah, it kind of turns at Nashua.
Okay.
Nashua, New Hampshire, and then into Lowell. It starts turning east. And so where we grew up, Chelmsford was on the south side, for the most part, North Chelmsford.
So we can just say the good side.
The good side. We were on the good side of the river. And then Lowell was across the river from us on the north side.
But
Lowell,
Lowell,
it kind of
Lowell kind of splits in
straddles
half.
it. Yeah. Lowell straddles it like a lot of people from Lowell straddle.
And the reason why Lowell became a industrial hub during the American Revolution, or no,
Industrial Revolution.
Industrial Revolution.
They were way ahead of their time.
Yes, they were like, well, let's make factories. Let's make factories. What the fuck did they make back then?
In the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Let's make factories out of freedom. Let's make freedom factories.
It was just horse factories.
Horse factory. So they became an industrial whatchamahoosit because they were
Right on the Merrimack River.
right on the Merrimack River, and
as
then,
well as Nashua and Manchester.
yeah. Well, in all the towns, sort of. So Lawrence is a little bit further down the river, headed east. You've got Haverhill. You've got Andover is on the river. First, I don't think Andover. Maybe Andover's a little bit separated from the river. I don't think Andover ever developed a textile industry in the way that the others did. Once you get past Haverhill, you get like Salisbury and Amesbury and all the berries.
And then you're in the fucking Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, then you're out to Newburyport, and then
So, like, the problem with it is there aren't enough bridges to
in
get
Lowell
over.
that is for damn sure. Yeah, I mean in general, yes, but
But
in
I
Lowell,
think
it's for damn sure.
Chelmsford was just being just stingy with, like, they didn't want to build a bridge in Chelmsford, so there isn't one
Right.
from Lowell to Tingsboro.
Right. Yes. Nothing in North Chelmsdale there.
Yeah, so there's no bridge in Chelmsford. So you have to go.
Sort of like there's no drive-throughs in Westford.
And so, like, when I used to live on the Dracut line, and we're getting local for you today, baby.
Oh yeah.
When I used to live in Lowell on the Dracut line, and I used to work in Hopkinton, which is
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Ugh. I know where this is going.
so, like, on Fridays it's just like the drive to work was always fine, and just like any other Friday.
Yeah.
But the drive home was fucked.
Now, were you driving to the train station, or
No.
were you
I was
driving all the way in?
I was driving all the
Okay.
way. So I was basically, it was just getting to 495 was just the pesky part.
Yeah. The pesky pole?
No. Going home on a Friday, I would just sometimes I would get off.
Do you think that's what his wife or his girlfriends called his dick, the pesky pole?
No.
Okay.
He's dead. Isn't he, Johnny Pesky?
Maybe.
He's gotta
I don't
be
know.
dead,
I
isn't
helped
he?
him move a sawhorse once.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, that'll get you into heaven.
So anyway, you
So
took-
yeah,
getting
on
to
Fridays
495.
I would just kind of I would see like what bridge I could get across, and then
Ugh.
I would I'd go kind of towards Drumhill, and if Drumhill was backed up, I'd say fuck that. I'd go and then see if I could get over in Tingsboro, and then if that wasn't good, I would go all the way to Hudson, New Hampshire to get over the bridge to get back to Massachusetts so I could get home.
So fucking ridiculous. I mean, yeah. I remember when the first couple of years that we lived, not the first couple of years, a couple of years that we lived in Dracut on the Lowell line, Stephanie and I worked in Chelmsford. And in a world where there weren't any
In a world
where there
The
weren't
trailer.
any other people, it would have taken like 5 or 10 minutes to get from my office to my apartment. But we don't live in that world.
in a world where there's
And
too many fucking people.
so it could take half an hour to 45 minutes basically to get across a fucking river and get across a bridge. I mean, so when I said preach earlier, I was feeling your pain. I did the same thing for a while.
I want to hear because we have listeners from all over. I want to hear your guys' gripes. I want to hear
Yes, not boats, bridges, rivers, like commuting things. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we want emails hot at what is it?
hot at horriblyofftopic.com.
Yeah, or or
hot at clarkwoods.com.
You can use the old one. You can use the new one. You can use them. You can CC one or the other.
Yeah.
If you email the other one.
Yeah. As long as you. No, I was going to make a CNC Music Factory joke, but it didn't come. I'm sorry. I mean, you're welcome that it didn't come.
Yeah. I mean, who wants splooge on them?
who wants CNC Music Factory splooge?
I don't know.
I
didn't raise my hand.
Yeah, no. What? I don't even remember what fucking song they do.
I don't either.
I want to say Good Vibrations, but no, that's Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Right.
Motherfucker.
I mean, they were a music factory, unlike the Freedom Factory.
Yes. They made music. I wonder where they made music. Did they make it on the where did? Hey, that's a good question. I think I'm gonna look it up. It's been a long time since people have heard my keyboard. Oh, where was CNC Music Factory?
Maybe you'll actually find out what one of their songs was in the process.
Says New York, New York.
Oh,
where they were from. CNC Music Factory was an American musical group formed in 1989 by David Cole and Robert Clavilles. The group is best known for their 5 hit singles.
5?
Wow.
What are they?
Gonna Make You Sweat, Everybody Dance Now. That's
okay.
The one. Okay. Yeah. I don't think any of the rest of these are actually hits, but I'll keep going. Here We Go, Let's Rock and Roll. Things That Make You Go, Okay.
I know that one.
I do know that one. So there's 2 that I know. Just a Touch of Love and Keep It Comin'.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Gonna Make You Sweat. I know that one. And Things That Make You Go, Interesting. What are some things that make you go, Steve?
There's a lot of things that make me go, Yeah, but I want to hear about other people's like traffic woes. I don't want to feel like we're just talking about. I mean, Boston has been.
It's notable.
It is notably like one of the worst cities in the country for traffic. But I want to we have friends in
low places
south of the Mason-Dixon line, and
that we do.
And we have friends on the West Coast. So
yeah, we got friends in Africa, don't we?
I mean. Yes.
I
want to hear about the traffic in Africa. Let me tell you about African traffic.
They can tell. I mean, I don't think they have like reliable internet access. So like someday down the line,
we'll get an email from Leo saying it's pretty okay.
African traffic, nothing to sneeze at. It's pretty all right. You see, we watched the Lion King, the live action remake.
What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a swell movie.
I'm just sick of fucking remakes.
Well, yes. But here's what I'm sick of. On the DVD or on the not even DVD, the iTunes. It's not even iTunes anymore. What the fuck ever.
Apple Plus
on the
TV.
On the digital release, there's a documentary where they're talking about the music, and Elton John is on there, and he's putting on a smile, putting on a nice face, talking about.
Is he doing the Crocodile Rock?
I wish he would stick to doing the Crocodile Rock, that motherfucker.
I don't think he ever fucked his mother.
Well, it was the 70s. Some crazy shit happened back then.
Well, I mean. Did he do cocaine? Was he a cocaine fan?
Everybody did cocaine in the 70s. I fucking did cocaine in the 70s. I came out.
You were
snorted
2.
a lot. Yeah, I know. That's what they did with babies back then.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe they were phasing it out by 79. Like we were.
Is that why I didn't have any?
That's what I'm saying. You probably didn't have any because you were close to the 80s. They're like, you know what? We got to stop.
Yeah, because no one did cocaine in the 80s.
No, they did crack in the 80s.
Well, they did. I think
crack.
I think rich people did coke, and then crack was the poor man's.
Only in America. Yeah. Only in America would there be a drug.
Did I get you good?
You did. What did you throw?
A coaster.
A coaster. Steve seeks to.
That was from Brian. I felt what he was I was channeling him, and I just chucked. It wasn't like a metal one or like a
No,
plaster
but it
one. But it
dinged
was
me nice right up on the noggin.
it was a cardboard one. One of the ones we have for the show.
What were we talking about? What was left of my memory is gone. You just smacked it out.
Smacked it out with a coaster. Cool.
Now we have another answer to has Steve ever hit Chris?
Yes. Yes.
Episode 251. What the fuck were we talking?
I don't know. I'm tired.
Oh, John.
Yes.
So
well, the other kids were rocking around the clock.
he was on there. Team player, seemed like he was all into it. And then this past week, after the digital release came out, Elton John decided he needed to run his mouth about how they'd fucked up all the music in the movie. And by fucked up all the music, did he mean that they... I'm thinking of Beep. Have you seen the movie?
No.
Okay. So
the only of the live action remakes that I've seen has been Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Yeah. And I should say, this one was fine. It's not stellar.
I mean, they're all, I don't think anybody is going to say otherwise.
Yeah.
On any of them. Well, maybe the... Sorry, I was picking up the coaster.
gotta get you
gotta reload.
Gotta reload, yeah.
I think the Aladdin one is the only one that people were actually had any negative things to say about.
Yeah.
Just because the Will Smith weirdness.
But I think that's just part of the problem is that people don't like change, as evidenced by hatred for Star Wars. Because Rian Johnson ruined everyone's childhood.
I just think he just made a bad movie.
George Lucas made 3 of them.
Yes, I agree with you. All 4 of those movies can be bad, Chris.
Yeah, well, I disagree. I don't think Rian Johnson's movie is bad.
I don't know. Maybe I need to see it again.
I
did like my initial reaction was not favorable.
Yeah. But at any rate, so Elton John criticized the music of The Lion King after, and he probably got paid to be on the fucking documentary talking about how wonderful it was to return to that world and return to that music. But there's a slight tinge of, and I feel like this is true of the Aladdin criticism too. There's a slight tinge of racism in there, in that. So I'll take a song like Be Prepared from The Lion King. So in this new version, Scar is not played by Jeremy Irons and is not a white guy and is not done as a fucking Broadway musical, which is what the original was done as. Scar is played by, the actor whose name I'm going to butcher. He was in 12 Years a Slave. He was the bad guy, Baron Mordo. Not bad guy, but Baron Mordo in Doctor Strange. Chiwetle
That sounds like his name.
Floor? I don't know. At any rate, he the way they work the song "Be Prepared" into the movie is not quite as a song. It's not even a rap. It's in there. It's used. It's very different, but it makes sense for the story. And similarly, I think the criticism of Will Smith rapping "Friend Like Me" is there's a little bit of like, come on, he's not going to sing it. He's not a fucking great singer. And the fact that he's going to rap it and he's going to play to his strengths. I don't think is a. I don't think it's a bad thing.
I don't know. The music is not has never been my issue. In fact, I didn't know that there was any sort of change to anything because like the Beauty and the Beast one, as far as I could remember, was pretty darn similar to the cartoon.
Yeah,
which made me think, why?
Yeah.
Why do this if you have like something that exists that's pretty darn good? Why?
They made some updates to her backstory, and they added some songs that I think are in the Broadway musical that came after the movie. Okay. So it doesn't answer your question, which is why did it need to be done?
I mean, I understand money, but like, why spend the money making it when you can just re-release it in like theaters because people will go to fucking see like the fucking cartoon.
I don't know if that's true anymore. I think, well, I
Or
think
just do we deleted I don't know.
I don't think it. I mean, I was just making you can tell me whether it's an interesting case. I was making a case about the upcoming, as in 8 years away,
have a new thought.
50th anniversary of Star Wars, which is 8 years away, but I don't think that they can do the same thing that they did on the 20th anniversary of Star Wars, where they re-released them. I think the problem with just re-releasing things these days is that nobody will go because they have excellent sound systems and TVs in their houses. So why the fuck would you go to a movie theater surrounded by assholes on their cell phones and having to pay for overpriced popcorn? Like, I saw somebody lamenting the fact
I'm
that
keto, so I don't eat popcorn, Chris. So I don't have to worry about that.
But I saw somebody lamenting the fact that I think they poked it at Disney, but it could also be any of these other streaming services, Netflix, HBO, whatever, that they're going to kill the movie theater. And it's like, no, what's going to kill the movie theater is
the movie theater.
It's the movie theater. They charge too much for their fucking concessions, and the movie studios can't figure out how to put something out that consistently puts butts in seats. I mean, it's a crap.
I mean,
shoot.
it has to be like a giant blockbuster. It has to be a Disney production because, like, if it's not it doesn't have Marvel attached to it, or well, I guess Joker's doing well.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no.
I have absolutely zero interest in
it. Just
seeing that.
I don't know I'm not against it because of like the false outrage that everybody's giving it, but I'm just like.
I could not care less about a Joker movie that's not about Joker and the Batman.
Yeah.
Although
the Venom movie I did kind of like, although it was bad.
Yeah.
But it was one of those good bads.
Yeah. I still have that. I somehow ended up with that maybe as a gift from somebody, and I still haven't seen it. But. But now that I know that they'll probably
a decent watch for one time.
They will probably bring poor old Tommy Holland into that as Spider-Man at some point. So I will watch it eventually because I like Tom Holland and
but the thing is like the whole reason, like, at least as far as Venom's backstory, the whole reason why like Venom is immune to Spider-Man's Spidey sense is because he had the black suit on before.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sure they can, if they want to do that angle, they could probably figure something out. Because have we talked about the end of Spider-Man Far From Home? Or have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
we have talked about it.
We have talked. We talked about.
So if you
Alex Jones, I mean,
if you Alex Jonah Jameson, if you look at the way that ended, right? Peter, if they continue down that path, Peter might not be able to have access to Stark technology or this, that, or the other thing. And maybe Peter has to go out and he gets a suit that he doesn't know is the Venom suit, right? And then the Venom suit goes back to Eddie and oh my gosh, now you've got exactly what you're talking about.
Well, they're setting up, at least at the end of Venom, they're setting up like a Venom and Carnage.
Yes,
like,
and
vehicle.
That's
not giving away much, I suppose.
No, they're casting for Carnage's girlfriend, Shriek, which I don't remember. Apparently, I mean, I saw somebody
I'd have to play Maximum Carnage for the Super Nintendo.
Somebody made the case that
which is the one LJN game that doesn't suck.
I started playing Spider-Man for PS4.
What do you think?
It's awesome. Have you played it?
I have not, but it's I have it.
I mean, I had to set it on very easy because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. But I was amazed at how I picked up the mechanics. Like,
can you change difficulties like midstream?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I did basically. I don't
Just
know
in case it starts getting too early, too easy for you.
Right.
Like that it's just kind of boring, that
Yeah.
you maybe like can increase the difficulty as you've gotten better at it.
That I think that might be relevant for someone else. I don't think it will ever be relevant for me because I am so fucking terrible. I just to be able to like get through the story without having to restart a whole bunch of times, I needed it on very easy. I mean, the Kingpin is, I guess it's kind of a spoiler. The Kingpin is the boss at the end of the first chapter, level, whatever.
Oh no, spoilers.
And he killed me so many fucking times on very easy that like I can't imagine that I'm ever going to get to the point where very easy is. It's
I'm
not
just
challenged.
saying. I'm just.
But in terms of the mechanics, in
I
terms
can't
of
believe you're playing a video game. This is great.
I played it for one. I played that and Mortal Kombat. They were both on sale over Memorial Day, not Memorial Day. The
Labor Day?
fall holiday weekend.
Oh, the
The
the October holiday.
the October holiday. Yeah, I mean Leslie calls it fall holiday weekend or something like that. So
Fall-a-day.
holiday. I know Maine. I think we spoke
Yeah.
of Maine earlier. They changed it to Indigenous Peoples Day.
Okay. I don't imagine New Hampshire would do that, but that is something Massachusetts might be inclined to do.
Yeah. Well, Rhode Island will never do it, right? Is Rhode Island that has the statue or something? Where you've got a lot of he's Portuguese or he's Italian?
Who?
Columbus.
He was.
He worked for the Italian.
No. Was he Portuguese and then he worked for the Italian, or was he Italian and he worked for the Portuguese?
Oh, Jesus. Who's gonna? Well, Leo will hear this ages and ages from now.
I think he was Italian and he worked for the Portuguese.
Okay, all right. At any rate, I think there's a lot of. I feel like there's a statue or something in Rhode Island. Like there's enough of that community that I think you're right, because I think it's the Italian community that has. They probably understand that he's a genocidal maniac, but they're like, but he's our genocidal maniac.
Yeah, he's our rapist president.
We got him and Mussolini. What are we gonna do?
Right.
God. Send the emails to hot at Clark Woods or hot at horriblyofftopic.com.
Right.
So we talk about movies. You mentioned before the show that later this week, you are going to the movies.
Yes, I will be going to the movies on Thursday.
What are you going to see?
I'm going to see One Piece Stampede.
How did I know? I didn't know. How did I not know or not guess that it would be One Piece?
They're doing a larger event than they did with the last one.
Mm-hmm.
The last one was we went to see at the Kendall Square Theater,
I think I remember you talking about that.
and it was gasp fest. Like every time, I hope these fucking people are not at the fucking movie.
Oh God!
Every time a character would show up that they weren't expecting, they'd be like,
I do remember that. I remember you talking about that.
and I was just like, oh no. But yeah, this is actually because the.
But is it a small enough? Not small enough, but is it a tightly knit enough fan community that it's pretty likely that they're going to be there?
Well, it's playing at several locations in the greater Boston area.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So it's. I hope that those same people will go to see it in Boston, as opposed to Burlington, where I'm going.
Yeah. Well, you never know. They Gasp Fest too. No, you know what? I'm not going to even write that in there, because if it turns out, hopefully it doesn't.
Well,
next week you can talk about. Was it Gasp Fest 2 or was it not Gasp Fest?
I'm actually really more looking forward to it this time, because like last time, I don't have particular problems with the dub, but when we went to see One Piece Film Gold, it was the dub, and I have been watching the anime for fucking years now, and I've been watching it in Japanese, so like when I associate voices to those characters, it's most often the Japanese dialogue, and
that's a fair point.
And
Yeah.
so, like, when I hear like Frankie not sound like Frankie, it's like Frankie
Right.
doesn't have a gruff voice.
Yeah.
He's way more high pitched, and he's just a weirdo that is a robot, cyborg.
Yeah. It's funny, we were talking about reboots earlier.
Actually, like, there's certain characters that I'm like, I think Brooke's voice like is pretty similar.
Yeah.
But like Luffy's, like, I don't know, like I've heard the woman that does the voice actor, who is the voice actor in English, in other roles and other shows
Yeah.
and whatnot, and I've had no issue, but like I don't know why it's just
Her
like,
Luffy
because
doesn't
like
do it for you.
there's a woman that does the voice in Japanese, and I think it's fantastic. So
Yeah.
it's just like it's definitely not me being gender biased.
No. Let me,
I mean-
I immediately, you started saying that, I had a little disconnect. I was like, well, Nancy Cartwright does fucking Bart Simpson. Like we got over that. I'd like to think our generation got over that a long fucking time ago when we realized that the person voicing Bart Simpson was a lady.
Lady.
But you mentioned that voice thing, and it makes me think about our earlier conversation about reboots. And so,
Do you remember the show Reboot? Mm-mm. It was like this, like, I think it was one of the first like computer animated television or cartoons, like that was on television.
huh? Now you're saying, I'm like, that sounds vaguely
I
familiar.
remember like it being on, like it might have been in early college or something like that. And so when I was like back for the summer, I would work at friggin' Hannaford's, and I'd get out of work and I'd go into my dad's basement and watch TV after I get out of work, because I would go in and usually at like 6 a.m, and then like get out at like 2:30.
Yeah.
So I'd get home and I'd go in the basement and smoke cigarettes and watch TV.
Yeah.
But like shit that was on was like just fucking cartoons and
Right. Yeah, because it's the summertime and kids are home, and
yeah. So I was just, and I remember, I think that was a show that was on. If you're into Reboot, send us an email, hot@clarkwoods.com or hot@horriblyofftopic.com.
So the voice thing in regard to reboots. So in The Lion King, they did not recast Mufasa. So Mufasa is played again by James Earl Jones, and
His voice is not what it used to be.
but it's distinct. It's James Earl Jones.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
could you imagine Mufasa as anybody else? Well, some of the other ones, it's like, if you'd asked me beforehand, could I imagine somebody else as Timon, other than Nathan Lane? I would have said no. But the guy who does it is fine.
I think it's Billy Eichner.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, why not get Nathan Lane? Like,
Right. Well,
if it's like, it's not like they're live actors. They're
exactly. Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Here's where we're coming back to.
and they did Seth Rogen too, your buddy.
And I thought he did. I thought he did a decent job. At any rate, but going back
Was
to
he
it,
smoking? Was there a scene where he was like smoking weed? Pumbaa.
no, I don't think there was, but I feel like there was the implication.
Wait, no, that's Ray Romano.
There's the implication that maybe Timon and Pumbaa were smoking a little weed before they looking up at the stars with Simba. I think you could say maybe they had. I mean, it's a Disney movie. You can't have them smoke weed, but
What?
the other one that it made me think of, and I'm loath to bring this up because although maybe it'll get us an email. Maybe it'll get us an email, so I'll bring it up. Transformers. When they rebooted Transformers with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, and they had to recast those voice actors, they kept the same Optimus Prime,
Right.
but they cast Agent Smith, what's his ass, from The Matrix as
And
Megatron.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and Captain America, but that's not his thing.
What, Red Skull?
I will never understand how that guy, if he had a bad experience, I guess, and maybe he was just trying to be polite or whatever. But his whole thing after doing the Red Skull was, yeah, that's not really my thing. I'm like, how is that not really your fucking thing when putting elf ears on? Like, it's not the makeup because you put fucking elf ears on for 6 movies. Anyway.
Whatever, Chris. Like, we know you just love Marvel.
But so they got him to play Megatron. And
Megatron, rejuvenate.
And I'm just sort of like, I don't think the guy who played Megatron was dead. So, and Megatron is, from the cartoons, is as distinctive a voice for me as Optimus. Starscream even more so.
Right. I mean, like, they probably could have saved a lot of money.
Yeah, like
for voice actors if they were just using the ones from the TV series.
Yeah,
if they were still around.
Right.
I mean, you can't get Orson Welles anymore.
Well, I don't think they've had Unicron in those. Somebody can write in and correct me. I don't think Unicron has popped up in the Michael Bay.
The French champagne.
Oh God, I love that movie. The animated version is excellent.
We were listening to Dare to Be Stupid last night on the way back from.
Did that first appear on a Weird Al album and then get used for the soundtrack?
It's called a Weird Album.
Weird Al. I'm gonna write that down. Yeah. At any rate, yeah, it just makes me wonder why certain voice actors get brought back for these reboots and then others do not. So, whatever.
All right. Well, what did you do this weekend, Chris?
What did I do this weekend? So Saturday was the 7th annual? I don't know. Is the Boo Bash at my
Boo Bash?
The Boo Bash at my younger daughter's school.
That seems really inappropriate.
No, it's cute. They have
it's cute for them to have their boobs out?
Boo Bash.
Oh, I thought you said Boob Bash.
No. Boo Bash.
Okay, all right. That's less. That's less bad.
They have a thing called Trunk or Treat, where people line up in the parking lot with their trunks open and decorated, and kids can go around and
get some Zimas.
Yes. Then there's a thing called the Cake Walk, where people donate cakes and cookies and cupcakes and things. And it's not musical chairs. It's hard to describe. It's really stupid. And my daughter gets heartbroken every year when she doesn't win. So I don't know why we keep letting her do it, but apparently we're just really great parents.
No, it's like part of life is disappointment.
Yeah. So we did
depriving her of that would probably be just as bad.
Okay. So we did that, and we went out to dinner for Stephanie's birthday, which had been the night before. Except on Fridays we have a crazy schedule, so we didn't go out and celebrate. So everything that was Saturday, but on Sunday, Steve, I
went to your own Boob Bash.
I went to the glorious state of Maine.
Oh, I thought you went to the glorious hole.
No, I didn't go to the glorious hole. No. Maybe I should do that. Not the glorious hole, but maybe I should go to like a. I'm writing a book that involves a person who works as a stripper, and I haven't been to a strip club in.
Well, they don't have glory holes at strip clubs.
No. But you made me. I was getting us away from the straight up sexual into something. I was trying to pull us out of the glory hole.
No, but like a glory hole is it's not a thing that you would I think it's typically men and other men, not.
Oh, really?
Not ladies.
Oh.
I don't think. I mean,
if
you're a lady out there that's ever had oral sex through a glory hole, please, by all means, let us know.
All I'm thinking of is a few videos that I may or may not have seen, which involved a lady and multiple.
Is that probably the website you bought a subscription
to? Multiple penises coming through holes in walls.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, I was gonna say I haven't been to a strip club in a very long time, so maybe I should do that. But
Legs and eggs, if you're gonna go, I think that's the most fun.
That's in Providence, right?
Right. Yeah. You get breakfast,
I can't imagine. I have been into those places a couple of times when they were serving food, and I just can't even imagine eating
Like the
in a
first
strip club.
the first time I went, I was way this was way back because I was still eating carbs. And I had a bowl of cereal because I figured that would be safe, like the little milk that you open up, like that you get at school.
Yeah.
I had that milk, and I had a bowl of Rice Krispies and a glass of whiskey.
While the performers were taking their
Yep.
gear off. Okay.
I was just
Did anybody come down and like do like the cat thing and try to lap the milk out of your for $1 or something?
no.
No. Okay. I can't imagine eating in a place. I just can't.
Just munching away. But then the second year I went, we had I had the eggs,
Okay.
and I think I had some bacon as well, maybe some sausage
Yeah.
and whiskey at 6 a.m. or whatever fucking time we got there.
So I went to Maine, not to a glory hole, I went to the glorious state of Maine to my mother-in-law's house to celebrate my wife and my sister-in-law's birthdays. They are fraternal twins, so and to celebrate, my mother-in-law and her husband put us to work stacking wood.
I mean, that is quite a celebration.
They had 3-4 cords of wood out on their lawn. I don't.
Is that like a 2-4?
I don't know. Is that, do I need
No, it's a Bob and Doug thing,
Okay.
or like like in Canada you get a 2-4, the 24 pack.
24 pack? I don't know what a cord is now that I think about it, but I feel like it was a lot of wood. It was a lot of wood, and I was in the shed, being handed off the wood and in charge of sort of stacking it, and I woke up this morning.
You got to be careful because if you put a whole line together, it'll disappear. That was a Tetris joke, kids.
That's very good. I like that.
You didn't get it, but it's fine.
I got it once you explained it.
I got it. Yeah, perfect.
I'm a pretty stupid guy. I have never claimed to be the smartest fellow, the sharpest tool in the shed. I was the guy.
Was there sharp tools in the shed?
There was an empty oil can, I think.
Was the Tin Man nearby?
Holy shit! Okay, we gotta. Well, we still have to talk about the what you did this weekend.
Yeah,
but
it's fine.
but-
Every year I talk about the Mega Maze and I talk about like doing haunted stuff, but that's fine.
So not this weekend, but the previous weekend, we were at the we kind of just last minute went out and did some apple picking and getting some pumpkins. No, I guess they'd already done the apple picking. We went and got some pumpkins, and while we were there, Disney was announcing all of the movies that would be on their Disney Plus series, streaming service. And they got to a movie that I want to ask you about because I asked my in-laws about this yesterday and got very reactions that made me feel like, okay, I'm not crazy. And we've probably talked about this before, but
This particular movie?
yeah. So one of the movies that Disney will have on the Disney Plus streaming service is...
We're not sponsored by them, by the way.
No. Is the 1985-86 movie Return to Oz.
Okay.
Now, do you recall the movie Return to Oz?
Yeah, I think I saw it, but it was...
Okay, so that's a very different reaction, right? It's...
I think...
Well, I'd be very curious to ask my brother whether or not he remembers it. I don't know if it's just the particular time in my life that I saw it, but that movie gave me nightmares, and still the very thought of it gives me nightmares as a 40-year-old man.
It's
42-year-old
42
man.
now, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the bad part about it
Yeah.
is that it's a sequel
Right.
to a film
Yeah.
that doesn't pay huge attention to the actual book canon.
Right.
So, I mean, I think Return to Oz, is much more faithful to the novelization, and so therefore is confusing to someone who would maybe watch The Wizard of Oz and then is watching this. They're like, what the fuck is this nonsense?
Yeah.
I think I was just more confused when I saw it than anything else.
I remember not being so maybe it was just that 2-year age difference. So my
Yeah, because it came out when I was like, what, 5 or 6?
yeah, it was, you were not that old. And so my
I think I remember renting it from Purity Supreme.
I feel like we saw it on the Disney Channel or something, and
Because you had that illegal black box.
we did.
Ow.
But I asked the older of my 2 brothers-in-law, who was born in 78, so he's just he's not even a full year younger than me, and he remembered it and remembered having nightmares. And then he asked his sisters, my wife and my sister-in-law, and they were both like, the monkeys with the wheel, or the I don't know if they're monkeys that have wheels for legs, or what it like. There's just some really fucked up shit in that movie, and I cannot wait to show it to my impressionable children and give them nightmares.
Wait, how old are they again?
13 and 9.
I mean, well, I think Kaylee will be fine with it, but like,
No.
she doesn't like
She
weird,
has
creepy
a
stuff?
very active imagination.
Oh.
And she gets. I mean, hopefully, she or none of her friends are listening to this.
I hope the fuck not.
Well, who knows? Once you get to be 13 and you get
Get into a YouTube hole where you find your dad's podcast just stumbling around.
But she can like really like get freaked out by shit, and that's probably good. You know, she'll stay younger for longer because some scary crap really still fucking scares her. And Melody is like tough in many areas, but like
I'm trying to remember when I crossed over the threshold to from not being scared at scary movies anymore. And I think it might have been around that time.
Yeah.
Like, I think late middle school, I think, was when I was just like, all right, I'm going to watch this scary movie. And then I'm like, yeah, you know, or maybe, it might have been that, or maybe like freshman year.
And was it that you didn't get scared at all anymore, or just that you were okay with being scared?
It wasn't, I think it was just that I found it that I was just being foolish, being scared before. And I think it was just, the only thing that actually ever gets me now is things that are like just egregiously gruesome. And that just grosses me out. It's not like scaring me or anything.
Yeah.
And like things that are just jump scares. It's hard to not get scared. Like, we went to the Haunted Overload over the weekend.
That's a nice transition.
I am not often like scared. It's like, you know, the people running around, I'll usually like, you know, try to spark up conversations or whatever with folks, and you know, it's funny,
right?
But then we were going through part of, and like, it's like outside and then you're inside for a little bit, and it's like lots of creepy like skull, like, I'll show you pictures of it afterwards. And so we were in this little house area, and then we walked into a room, and then zook, the painting comes down, and there's just a person there, and they were like, blah, and I'm like, so that got me. Like, it's a jump scare. It's not like, like, I was not expecting that painting to not be a painting anymore, and then there to be a person there. So that's the kind of thing that gets me. But like, it, like like, you know, having it be supernatural or dark or whatever, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it in the lore kind of aspect. I think it's neat. I think, you know, that kind of, like, because we watched several seasons of American Horror American Horror Story. Yeah, that's the thing. And I'm you know, I'm okay with it. It's interesting enough. You know, some of them are not as good as the others, and some are cool. But it's like, it's just interesting, and I think I like the way that most of the seasons connect to each other more than, you know, like, you know, the individual parts of the stories.
So, a question about jump scares. If you watch something, and this is kind of a leading question. If you watch something that has a jump scare in it that you've seen before, how do you feel about the jump scare the second time around?
It typically does not scare me unless I forgot about it.
Yeah. See, this is I say it's a leading question because it's one of my
but then, you know, the
bugbears. I don't know.
You might it might get me a second time just because, like, whenever we watch reruns of Star Trek: The Next Generation, I'm never able to figure out exactly when Captain Picard says space in the beginning of the titles. I'm usually very close, but I'm just like, so yeah, there's a chance that I might be scared by the same thing again.
I'm usually very close when I hear Patrick Stewart's voice too.
Oh.
So yeah, it's one of my not pet peeves, but it's one of those things that I talk to my students a lot about, and it's this notion that suspense works every time, surprise only works once.
Right. I would rather like a mystery or something like that, or something that is like a suspense or a thriller or something like that, as opposed to just like some. I do like crazy gory nonsense, but I like it to be campy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
which is why I think I like American Horror Story, because it has that element of camp to it.
Right. So yeah. So jump scares kind of annoy me,
although they do tend to go a little bit overboard with the gore.
Gore. So have you played Mortal Kombat 11?
Just like I think the last time we were at Arcadia.
Okay, because I mentioned that's aside from Spider-Man, that's the other one I picked up, and I generally like it. Like, I like to be back in that world, and that has always been my favorite fighting game. But the fatalities, I'm still trying to put my finger on what they don't bug me is too strong a word, but the gore doesn't seem. Something's off about the gore. It's not gory enough to be campy, like to be kind of over the top or whatever. It's like just shy of that, and so it comes across as kind of gross and gross in kind of a half-assed way. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I find myself naughty. I want to do the fatalities because I like for the, oh my gosh, I actually managed to remember the right fucking button combination.
Yeah, but then you have it up on your phone and you're all like ready for it.
Well, there's actually a thing in the game where you can
pause it.
You can pause it and get the so I don't have my that's my go-to move at fucking Fun Spot, is I'm always trying to get the moves up ahead of playing one of the Mortal Kombat machines. And it never matters because whoever I'm playing against is going to kill me.
I don't know, like Mortal Kombat moves like befuddle me, like as far as like, because I've been playing Street Fighter for so long. It's just like when I play a game like that, it's just like it feels clunky to me.
Yeah, well,
and I don't know about the new one because I think we only played it when we were absurdly drunk sitting at the bar, but like.
Yeah, no, I went through the tutorials and I was like, I'm never going to remember this shit. Like I was glad I did it for one or two of the characters, but then I was like, I'm just going to start smashing buttons. Like I know that is not most people's cup of tea, and I know it's going to frustrate me eventually because I want to know the moves, but I'm not going to remember all this shit. Yeah, no, I'm totally with you there in terms of you're used to one thing, you go over and you try to do another thing, and it's
like Tekken. I was never able to play Tekken. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And like, like that was one of those ones where like I found that like a lot of people would just button mash a lot and then do really well. Yeah, and then it would just be really annoying because like anybody could fucking. Well, I mean, obviously there are people that are really good that could fucking wreck people that are just button mashing, but. Right. We weren't at that level, so we're just like trying to do what the fucking moves are telling us to do, and they're just like, blah, 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 I'm the panda bear, I'm just clawing at you, you're dead.
I'm the panda bear, I'm clawing at you. Could you play a panda bear?
In Tekken, yeah.
I don't know if I ever played that. I'm trying to think. What was the difference between that? I mean, that's a bad question. I was going to say,
difference between a bear and a person?
No. I was going to say, what was the difference between that and Street Fighter? I'm like, I know very well what Street Fighter is. I'm just like trying to distinguish Tekken in my mind.
It was more 3D, so but that was then, and now everything's kind of 3D-ish.
Right.
I mean, even Street Fighter, like, I mean, at least the character models are. It's still a 2D fighting game, technically.
Right. Yes. That, and I appreciated that about Mortal Kombat, that it was 2D. Although, going back to the Spider-Man, that was the first time that I remember. Well, until I got into, when I was in the city, I loved the 3D element of it. Like, I'm swinging, and now I can swing down a different alleyway.
Did you hit a fucking building or anything?
I hit a building a fuck ton. That's why I needed. That's why I needed on very easy, because I'm still trying to figure out. But the motion for like shoot a web swing is very intuitive once you get the hand of it. Like, okay, now you're at the sort of the apex, not apex, but now you're at the right point in the swing where you should shoot another web. You don't have to, but if you shoot another web, like, okay, you're going to smooth sailing. It makes sense. But I would still, if I had to turn a corner, run into a fucking wall a bunch. But it's when I got into the building and I'd be, Spider-Man's getting shot, his health meter's going down. I'm like, where the fuck are the guns coming from? And then it took me a while to realize, oh, you got to like look up and pan the camera up. They're above you.
Is there a lock on an enemy like thing? Like one of the L buttons or?
There is a way once you. So if you're where you're standing and they are up on the next level, or they're like directly across from you, you can sort of it's a left button on each side. And you can basically target them and like swing right across and take them out.
Cool.
So, yeah, no, it's fun.
I'll play it eventually. It's
Yeah.
just I'm still.
You got other things, though.
My Kingdom Hearts binge.
Okay. Yeah. I can totally see how. Yeah, it's been really great because it makes me go, okay, now I understand video games in a way, and maybe it's sad that I needed a property that I know, but it makes me understand what you all have been doing for all the decades that I haven't been playing. It's like,
for the past 30 years.
It's like, all right, so this is something that I'm going to be invested in for a while, like a novel, like a TV show or whatever, and I'm going to play it, and that's just going to be what I play a game. That's what I play, as opposed to, just picking up a game and casually sort of smashing buttons, which is all I ever did when I was a kid.
You might benefit from getting like a one of the re-releases of one of the Final Fantasy games or something like that, because I think for the one on the Switch, I don't know if they did it for the other like releases, that you could basically play the game without fighting if you want to just fucking. Like it, well, you can fight. Like you could set it on really easy. You could set it basically that you're at max level or whatever instantly. That you could fucking wreck any fight that you get into.
Yeah.
You can set like the encounter rate to really low, so you don't fucking fight like shit tons of like random encounters. You just only really fight the bosses or whatever the hell you want to do.
Right.
But you can do that, and you can actually basically play the story.
Yeah, and that's I guess that's what I'm realizing. It's like, oh, okay, so I can play this story. I get enough of the video game aspect of it, of like, I'm trying to take somebody out with the web or punch them or whatever, but not so much of that I'm like, well, I just want to get to the next part of the story. Can I know that I suck. Can we not remind me that I suck? It's like having a DM or a GM who knows you and they're like, okay, this guy is not the best player in the party, but like I want to help him out a little bit so we can, that they can have fun.
But yeah, I mean, I'm the opposite as far as like getting to the story, because like if there's things to do in a game, I want to do them, because like that's the completionist in me. And so there's a lot of games that I've played that I like, aside from like maybe Final Fantasy like 2/4 and 6/3 whatever that or maybe 7 as well, but like just games that I just don't remember like a lot of what fucking happened. Like I played a fuck ton of Dragon Quest 9, and I think I played that every day for fucking ever, and I just did everything that game had to offer. I don't remember 1 second of the story.
And So maybe that's where I'll get, but I'm glad.
I hope you don't get to that, because then you're like, you played a fucking game for like 150 hours. Like, I remember 11
Yeah.
because like there was a decent amount of story that just fucking happened as I was playing, and it just like I wasn't playing it like in quite the frequency that I was playing, and it wasn't like the thing that was good about Dragon Quest 11, I think, was that the post game wasn't just like, here's some fucking extra dungeons because here. The post game was actual story.
Right.
So it actually like fed into the plot of what happened in the rest of the. It wasn't just like, oh, you guys are really strong now. Here's an extra tough guy that you got to fight.
Right. Yeah. No, what I meant was maybe I will get into the open world aspect of it and go exploring. But I'm glad that they got me started with a story, which it made me feel comfortable.
That was like that was always my problem with like the GTA games, because like there was just so much.
There's so many hookers to rape.
That is not something that I would do. And
no, I know.
if you're paying them, I believe it's a service, and
Yes.
and so therefore,
I have a bad impression of that game. Maybe most people don't do what I just said, but I imagine a lot of people.
I don't think you can actually do that. I think you can have sex with a hooker and then kill her.
Okay, all right.
But you know,
fair.
that's
enough.
also shitty.
Yeah. I should say so. All right. Well, on that lovely note.
Yeah.
Hey, there aren't really show notes, but you can find them.
The things that don't exist.
That don't exist. You can link to this. That's what you should do. You should tweet this out or put it on your Facebook. It's going to be horriblyofftopic.com/251.
Or go check out the YouTube channel and
Give us a thumb up your butt. No,
yeah.
Give us
just
a
a thumbs up instead of anything up our butts.
Yeah, we don't want things up our butts.
Yeah,
Unless
we gave the email enough times today, so
Yeah.
definitely fucking do that, jerks.
You should give us some love, some stars.
Yeah, I love stars, and chicken and stars.